I get questions all the time. Hey Toki, how did you grow on Twitch? Hey Toki, do you have any tips for streamers? Hey Toki, do you have any sort of advice that you could give? I'm thinking of starting out streaming now, and I would love to get your opinion on what I should do. This is what we have all been waiting for. Toki's top tips to become a streamer. So, you want to be a streamer, huh? Here is how to make it. Why should you listen to me? Well, I started streaming about a year ago, and I feel like I've made a couple of mistakes early on in my streaming career, which I will tell you guys about in a little bit. And I just really want you guys to not make the same mistakes that I did when I was first starting out. I want you guys to write this down. This is the Ludwig Method. This is something that he shared in his own video on YouTube to become a bigger streamer, to be able to capture your audience. And this is the first thing that Ludwig tells you to do. And this is the first thing I'm going to tell you to do as well. You want your start date. So set a hard start date on what day you are going to start streaming, because it's really easy to push it over and just keep pushing it aside. I'll start next week. No, I'll start in 2 weeks. No, I'm going to start in 3 weeks, right? But set a hard start date for yourself, and also write down your 1-year goals. What do you want to accomplish during this time? Do you want 50K followers? Do you want 60,000 channel views? What are the concrete goals that you are setting for yourself? Write down 3 to 5 creators that you want to emulate. I think the 3 to 5 creators that I wrote down in 2021 of last year, on this date, actually it was 2 days before I started streaming, was Ludwig, Valkyrie, Quarter Jade, Sykkuno, and Pokimane. Those 5 to me were some of the best in terms of Ludwig's storytelling, right? Quarter Jade is absolutely hilarious, and she's very direct. I loved how she could just directly roast someone or just be herself, right? Valkyrie, huge inspiration for me in terms of the business aspect of streaming. Pokimane, of course, is the #1 female streamer on Twitch, and that's very inspiring to me. Finally, I loved Sykkuno's ability to create a wholesome community. So you can kind of see the parallels between me and Sykkuno in that way, because I felt very inspired by Sykkuno when I first started to create a space that felt very safe and soft and warm. So any single time that someone wanted to come in, it'd be a really nice, wholesome place. But also we do a bit of trolling as well. Okay, Sykkuno is one of the biggest wholesome trolls that I've ever seen on Twitch. And I really, really, really like that. The very most important thing though is write 1 sentence discussing why you want to be a streamer in the first place. I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to write all of this down. Okay, have you guys written down your stuff? If you haven't written anything down, don't stream. Don't do it. If you guys haven't written anything down, and if you guys did not take the time that takes 5 minutes maybe or less to finish this list, give up. Give up on your dreams. You need to take steps to become a streamer. And this is one of the easiest steps, right? It takes less than 5 minutes. If you didn't write it down, really consider why or why not you want to be a streamer. If you guys don't know, these are some pretty important statistics. So there are 140 million active users on Twitch. Okay. 7.57 million people decide to go live every single month. Out of all of these people who are broadcasting, only 41,000 people become partners. What does that mean for us? You have 0.54% chance to make it, right? If we consider becoming a partner is making it, you have a 0.54% chance to make it. That is very slim. I want you guys to realize that becoming a Twitch partner is definitely not the norm. It's not something that will definitely happen to you. It is a very, very competitive, given how many people go stream every single month. Of course, we do have to consider Maybe they're like testing their streams, or maybe their dog accidentally pressed the go live button, right? But that's still millions and millions and millions of people deciding to stream every single month. Do not drop out of school or quit your job to stream. It's also important to have like a serious discussion with yourself and ask yourself, do you have the time to become a streamer? Something that I realized while I've been streaming for the past year is that it takes a lot of time. So it's not just going live, right, and doing the stream itself. It's also the emails that you have to answer, the DMs that people are reaching out to you about of doing collabs or doing sponsorships. And there's a back and forth with that every single time that you check your emails. You also need to keep up on other socials as well, right? So if you have a Twitch channel, you most likely also want to have a YouTube channel, a TikTok, a Instagram, Twitter, all of those things. And you do need to keep up with that as well. Also, I think the biggest hurdle for me that takes up the majority of my time outside of actually streaming is editing. If you're an amateur editor like me, it took me a long time to be able to crank out my TikToks as fast as I can now. Editing takes a lot of time, and not everybody has disposable income to hire an editor right away as you start streaming. And I think that's where we can make the distinction between career streamers versus hobby streamers. So if you're going to start streaming as a hobby and your goal is to hit affiliate, absolutely go for it. You can do it. And I think it's going to be a really fun experience for you as well. But if you're going to try to do Twitch streaming as a career, it's a totally different mindset that you have to take than a hobby streamer. So what is my biggest tip to streamers? Don't stream. Do not stream. I'm not saying don't press the go live button, but what should you do instead? Instead, I want you to focus on other applications that have a way more powerful algorithm. So for example, YouTube, TikTok, right? TikTok, the short video format right now is absolutely insane for being able to reach thousands of people within a day. YouTube has an algorithm where it'll suggest videos from a month ago, a year ago, based on, the videos that you've been watching. And they're trying to cater to what they believe that your preferences are. I highly recommend you to not stream first if you want to be a streamer. It sounds backwards, but I believe it's correct. And this is the biggest thing that I wish I had done before I started streaming. When I first started streaming a year ago on this day, I literally just pressed go live. I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do. I knew I wanted to play Uno, and that was it. But at the time, I wasn't even thinking about, can I make a YouTube video out of this? Can I make a TikTok out of this? What content will come out of me streaming right now? Me streaming Uno right now. What I also recommend outside of TikTok and YouTube, if you're uncomfortable with editing and putting your content out there, is I recommend recording yourself in OBS when you're in a game. So you can have practice of kind of what it's like to make content. So I think one of the things that I notice a lot that people recommend to small streamers is you want to keep talking. All right, you want to keep talking. You do not want there to be dead air and a lot of long silences, right? People are coming to your streams to be entertained, not you being entertained by your chat. You need to be the one entertaining your chat. And so I would record myself playing Minecraft. And so I would record myself playing Minecraft. I would see kind of how the audio levels are with the game and my voice. You can kind of go into logistics here too, right? You can see how your webcam is set up. You can see, if you're playing music, is it going to drone out your voice? Is it too loud? Is it going to overpower what people can hear from your microphone? Those are some things that are also really handy dandy when you record yourself on OBS. But the biggest thing is you get to practice talking out loud and speaking your thoughts into existence, right? Without anybody judging you. So if you have this like performance anxiety of pressing go live and then freaking out that, oh my gosh, but I feel shy. Like I don't know how to talk to myself. Like I feel like, who am I talking to? Like who the hell am I talking to? Right? That's okay. That's normal. And so what you want to do is get into the practice of doing it without the added pressure of actually having an audience. And if you have a great segment in your recording as your practice recording, you can clip it in OBS, format it for TikTok and YouTube, and bang, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, you have a TikTok or YouTube video right there. If you can grow yourself on these platforms before you ever start streaming, right? I think you're going to set yourself up for a better time and less disappointment if you do not get any chatters or any viewers in your first couple of streams. One of the other things I want to mention is that you can also funnel people. So say you start getting an audience on TikTok. I actually know a lot of streamers who do this is they get an audience on TikTok first, right? They garner, a couple thousand follows, maybe 15,000 likes and whatnot. And maybe you can start funneling people from your TikTok to your streams. So remember we talked about that start date, that hard start date. You say on March 27th, 2022, I am going to have my first stream ever on twitch.tv/username, right? And that you can pin that comment on your video. Thousands of people can see it. Hundreds or thousands of people can see it. And now people have this understanding that, hey, this person that I follow on TikTok is going to start streaming. I might want to check them out. That might be a pretty cool experience. I wonder what their streams are like. And now you get people curious and wanting to come to your streams as well. What are some other ways to grow on Twitch rather than posting videos on apps? Number one, and this is my most recommended one, is you have to visit other streamers' streams as well. Twitch is a social media platform, whether you like it or not. And so by visiting other people's streams, it will kind of help you to get to know people. Like, for example, I know so many of you guys come into chat and you guys now see so many names that you recognize who come every so often, right? We have our regulars, we have our mods, and then we have people who float in and out often, but their names seem pretty familiar, right? That's kind of what you want to do, is you want to become a familiar face in other people's streams. But this does not mean self-promo. So there's a very big difference between coming into a stream and becoming a part of that community versus promoting yourself. Let me give you some examples of self-promo. Hi, please raid my stream after. Definitely don't say that. Don't say, please raid my stream after. It's very rude because you've come into this community and now you're saying, hey, I'm not really in this community, but yo, you should come on over. It's like you go to a party, right? And then you guys are saying, hey, I have a party next door. You want to come through? That is not the way that you want to do it, because other people will look at that and say, ooh, the streamer is a little bit rude in my community. Also, I think this one's a gray area, but you kind of don't want to say like, hey, I'm gonna go stream. I'm gonna go stream after, or hey, I just got off work. I think I'm gonna go stream now. Because that's kind of also subtly saying, I got a party next door. You wanna come? You wanna come, baby? I'll give it. I'll let you come in for free. I won't even ask. I won't even ask for subs. Just come in for free. Just watch my content. What you want to do instead is actually take some time, get to know the streamer, get to know the community, get to know some cool people. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, this is a social media platform and you're just here to have a good time. You're here to have a good time. So have a good time in people's chats, and you'll be surprised how many people will be like, oh, wait, I saw this person in Toki's chat. I want to go see what their streams are. It seems like they're live right now. I wonder if they're playing the same game as Toki. I wonder if they're playing a different game. What's that all about, right? Number two, Discord self-promo. A lot of streamers have Discord. Actually, I don't think I know like a single streamer who doesn't have a Discord, like a community Discord. So also set up a Discord if you are going to stream. For any larger, like mid-sized to larger streamer, they usually have a section for self-promo, and that's usually like the last section in whatever like community tabs that they have open. And a self-promo page is exactly where you want to go to promo your stream. This is where it's outside of the stream. You're not bothering anybody in someone's live broadcast of their stream. And streamers set up that channel because they want you to self-promo in there. So please, please, please use that channel to self-promo, and don't say that in chat while they're live, okay? This is the appropriate place to put it instead, right here. Number three, I think this comes with a little bit more experience as well as you get used to streaming on this platform. But you want to host events like today's subathon, right? Today we are celebrating 1 year on Twitch for me, my anniversary. And I've made segments of we're doing higher lower, we're going to play Valorant with viewers, we're going to host events, we're going to do this and that. I think that's really important because you want people to be interested in what you're doing. For example, the first thing that comes into mind actually is Disguise Toast $10,000 Apex tournament, Apex Legends tournament. And I remember watching it's Timmy doing, he was like a part of that. He actually won the whole thing as well. So I picked a good POV. But those types of tournaments or like those types of events bring so many people from different communities together. And so I think that's really, really, really important to host events. For myself, on my very first month of Twitch, I actually streamed Animal Crossing New Horizons, and that was like my stuff. Like that was my jam. I freaking love Animal Crossing. I loved it so much that I decided to do my first event ever, which was within my first week of Twitch. I think it was my 4th or 5th day of streaming on Twitch. I decided to host this event where I was going to go to viewers' islands and I was going to kind of get like a walkthrough of them, judge how they put stuff, what's on the left side of the island, what's on the right side, do they have something different and cool, what's the theme of their island, right? And so I hosted this like let me see your island type of event, and you'd be really surprised because I had an average of maybe 5 to 10 viewers on my first week of streaming. But any single time a new viewer came in, I asked them, hey, do you play Animal Crossing? What's the theme of your island if you do play Animal Crossing? And number 3, can I come? Can I come over? Doing that actually brought so many people together. That led me to do a fashion show on Animal Crossing shortly after, where I was averaging 23 viewers at the time. I went back on the day I did the fashion show, and I was averaging 23 viewers. I think I peaked at almost 50 viewers. And this was 1 month into streaming for me. Being the broadcaster of that stream, I felt like I was the host of a party. And that's kind of the hat that you want to wear when you're streaming, is you have to kind of think of yourself as the host of a big party. It is your job to make sure that people are having fun, and it is your job to have fun as well. What is content? And this is kind of the question that I get the most, I think, is what am I even supposed to post on TikTok? What counts as content, right? Now I believe that there's 3 different types of content. The first one is educational. Okay, I've seen many, many different educational types of content. For example, how to set up your stream. I see Alpha Gaming on YouTube, educational content after educational content, video after video, how to set up your GoXLR, how to set up your stream deck, how to make sure that chat is showing on your stream, making sure that your audio levels are good and ready to go. That is educational content. It could also be entertaining content, and the sole purpose of it is to make you laugh. Number 3 is persuading. I immediately think of Hassan, right? Hassan's streams are based around talking about different global issues and political issues and trying to get people to be persuaded on one side or another. He's a very opinionated person, right? And his streams are all based around what take that he has on this particular event that happened that is controversial. And he's trying to persuade his audience on one way or another. And they're kind of reaching out to like-minded individuals saying, this is what I think. What do you guys think? And it can stimulate a lot of conversation in the comments, but it also gets a lot of likes because a lot of people might agree with you. How do you stream? This is the lottery ticket idea. All right. And this is a concept that I think if you take anything away from this video, it is the lottery ticket idea. What is the lottery ticket idea? The lottery ticket idea is that any single video is a lottery ticket to becoming viral. If you base your content around the one question, do I think this could go viral, right? And of course, there's exceptions to the rule. Like people will post something and it'll absolutely pop off and they had zero inclination that it would go viral. But if you are creating content for a living, this is a question that you have to ask yourself pretty much for anything that you put out is, can I see this going viral? Why can this go viral? Is it relatable? Is it something that a lot of people can learn from? Is it like a fun fact that nobody knows about? So any single video does have the chance of going viral. Keep that in mind when you're making your content. Quality over quantity. We've talked about this a little bit before, but this is the idea of don't just go live and hope, like preach. Don't go live and preach and hope for the best. That maybe today I'll get 20 viewers if I have an average of 3 viewers, right? That is not the best way to go about Twitch. Twitch's algorithm and its discoverability is very low compared to other apps out there. So you want to set yourself up for success. For if you do get like a gigantic raid and a lot of people are coming into your stream, maybe you already have a couple videos on your YouTube, you already have a couple TikToks, so that when people come in, right, and see you for the first time, you have 5 minutes to convince people that you're someone worth watching. And it's really helpful if you already have content on other platforms, quality content on other platforms, and you're consistent in putting out content. Make sure you are quality checking your content, making sure it's the best content that you want to put out for yourself. You want to be proud of what you're doing, all right? So don't just make content for saying like, okay, this is the one, I promised myself that I'm going to post a TikTok every single day of this week, 3 times a week, and so many people are going to see it and I'm going to go viral, right? Possibly. But the most important thing is quality. For example, if you can only push out 1 video per week, but that video is fire, right? And it's going to get 200,000 views on TikTok guaranteed. People are going to start understanding that, oh, this streamer gives quality content, right? And I can trust, you're building trust here. I can trust that this streamer, every single time that I come upon their TikTok or their video or their streams, is going to make me laugh. Or it's going to make me cry because they're so hilarious. They're going to be educational, right? You have to start building trust with your viewers and what to expect from your content. Also, I do think, though, that if you're going to be a partnered streamer, right, that being live is important. So I'm not saying go live and stay on there for 8 to 12 hours a day. Do not do that. I think what you should do instead is go active often, but for shorter periods of time. Find the time slot that you think works best for you. For example, maybe you want to be the type of streamer who is a late night streamer where there's less people who are broadcasting at that time, right? You want to be the go-to late night streamer, the hub for DGen streamers or the DGen crowd, right? Who can't go to sleep. I have streamers like that I watch at like midnight every night, and they're on at midnight every night. I know when to expect them. And so you want to be live during those hours that you believe that you can make the best content and reach out to people who are similar to you. For example, I was active 295 days out of 365 days. I went back and I checked. That means I was live for 81% of the year in terms of days. In terms of how many days I went live, that's a pretty good hefty amount. And I do feel like that helped me to become a lot more discoverable because people knew when it's Toki time. All right. They know noon every single day, Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturday, sometimes on Sunday. I will announce it in the Discord. I'm going to be live. And you can guarantee that for people. And I think having a rough schedule like that is also very important if you're trying to go and be a partner. So what you want to do is look at what works. All right. So I think for a lot of streamers who are starting out, it's really easy to get bogged down by comparing yourself to other people, especially if, say that you're really close to somebody and you guys start streaming at the same time. Suddenly that person is getting a lot more viewers than you, right? And you start feeling like you're stagnating. But the truth of the matter is that no matter how close that person is to you, their numbers reflect more great to you because, you see them all the time. But it actually has zero correlation to what your streaming journey will look like. Do not do daily check-ins. Do not check your stats and think this is the type of streamer that I am. I am a 23 average viewer streamer, and that's it. Because that is very, very, very toxic. What you want to do instead is to check in weekly with yourself and see how you did overall. Because in any given day, there could be people who are just busy, people who decided to go on a date, movie theaters, right? They're gonna watch a Korean drama instead. And so you don't have to worry about the day-to-day numbers. Worry about your weekly numbers and of course your monthly numbers and see, am I growing? And so I guess that boils down to, should I do variety gaming or should I do a single game? So I would say definitely start out with variety and see what you like to play first. Because if you don't like what you're playing, you're gonna burn out so fast. What you want to do instead is you want to focus on a game. Well, first, find the game that you like. Secondly, I would say to transition into a single game, because that way you can build a community around that game that's a very solid community, and they know what to expect every single time that you're going to stream. You're going to stream Valorant, right? I'm going to be a Genshin streamer. But make sure that you love the game that you are playing. Love/hate. For people who are here who know that I play Valorant, love/hate the game. I am so addicted to this game, but I've also been playing it for 10 months consistently. No, 9 months consistently. And my whole community is kind of based around Valorant. I've also been able to do some variety stuff. And now that I am a partner, I'm able to venture in variety stuff more often. But I do find that creating a community around variety is pretty tough. In terms of concurrent viewers, this is the statistic that I want you to focus on the most. Focus on concurrent viewers more than your, I don't know, follower count. Because even when you guys say that you do get partnered later, sponsors actually look at concurrent viewers over how many followers that you have. Concurrent viewership is the most important. And concurrent viewership means your average viewers within any given stream. You guys know I do this, right? I don't have my viewer count on. I used to have my viewer count on, and it would be very discouraging and a little bit tilting, because I would be playing something and then I go to the bathroom and then suddenly there's 15 less people in here. And I'm like, oh my God, should I just have held my pee? Right? But that's a terrible, terrible way of going about your streams. If you have to pee, you have to pee, all right? There's gonna be a lot of people floating around this platform anyway. And so what I recommend you to do is turn off your live viewer count. It is already inaccurate because it will update itself like slowly. So by the time people have left and new people have come in, their viewer count number is inaccurate. So it's really hard to tell when you're live, like why people left. What you can do instead, if you're very curious about, hey, why did I suddenly lose like 50 viewers at once? Because that's not normal, right? If suddenly you lose 50 viewers, or like maybe you saw like a super L take and like someone left, you know, or like you switch games. If you switch games in the middle of streams, a lot of people can take that as their cue to leave as well. And so, you know, it does give you a good statistics on like, you know, what happened during your stream that you can improve on, but you don't have to be analyzing how you're doing while you're streaming, right? Take a second after stream to go back and see, oh, where exactly during the VOD did I lose a lot of viewers? What was I doing at that time, and how can I improve that in the future? Finally is burnout and what to do about it. So I think one of the things that we struggle with the most as streamers is burnout, because you are constantly giving your energy and putting out content for people to enjoy. Number one is you have to really enjoy being a streamer, and you have to really enjoy putting out content, because it is a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. Later on, if you become a really big streamer, maybe you can get an editor, and that will kind of lighten the load for you. But even just being live, it's a very social job, right? You're just constantly talking and making sure that people are engaged. Number one thing is do not seek validation on social media. Seeking social media validation and comparing yourselves to others will lead to disappointment. Not even can lead, it will lead to disappointment. Do not compare yourself to other people. Ask yourself instead, why Am I having less viewers this week than last week? What about last month? Was I playing a different game? Constantly try to improve yourself without bringing yourself down. And on top of that, don't bring others down as well. And say like, oh, this streamer is only big right now because this, and that. Take the time to focus on yourself because it is your streaming journey and it's something that you're gonna have to come to terms with as well. See what people are actually saying to you. If someone calls you their comfort streamer, don't just be like, oh yeah, they always say that. No, you are literally, these numbers, these usernames, right? They are real people who are existing in this world at the same time as you, watching you and engaging with you. Do not take that lightly. Secondly, time management. This is something that I need to work on as well. Take some time for yourself, of course, but make sure that you're not burning yourself out by doing 12-hour streams and then editing for 6 hours and then going to sleep and then waking up and doing it all over again. Like, this is kind of how my schedule goes. So I stream, right? Monday morning. I wake up, I walk Luna, eat breakfast, get ready for stream, I stream. After stream, I take about 2 hours to kind of focus on everything else. I eat dinner, I walk Luna again, we may go for a longer walk, I play with her, I might check into other friends' streams as well, say hi and catch up with them. It's like my time, my 2 hours to myself after stream to just de-stress, right? I usually have a cup of tea and then I will start editing my TikTok. I think for me, it's really important that the content stays fresh in my head so I know what TikTok to make, I guess, for that day. Because if it just happened on stream and I remember that moment was really funny, then I can go back on it and find it with ease. But if I'm stuck on an edit, I will not stay up. This is what I used to do, actually. I used to stay up until 3 or 4 a.m. I used to kind of romanticize staying up late at night and having bags under my eyes until the next day when I have to stream and I'm absolutely exhausted. But guess what? I got my TikTok done. I don't recommend that anymore. What I want you to do is take a break. If you are having trouble editing something or figuring out content ideas for your stream or your YouTube or whatever, take a break. I used to think it was kind of cool that I would stay up and I'm like, yeah, it's the grind. No, you don't have to be on the grind like that. Thank you so much for coming to my presentation about So You Wanna Be a Streamer. Here is how to make it. I hope you guys learned a lot and it was really fun to share. Hopefully my advice can help some of you guys out if you guys are starting to stream or if you're gonna become if you're shooting to become a partnered streamer as well. I hope my advice was somewhat helpful and I hope that you guys enjoyed.